I want to share something with you that's, I think this is really important. This is for men. I think this is very important. I think this is the most important thing. Basically, I guess what I'm doing in this video now to help you, I'm talking to me in the past. I'm talking to my old self in his early 20s who was anxious, insecure and not sure about life and how to go about things. And I'm also teaching you something. Hopefully you're going to get some lessons from this. And I want to, as I say this, I'm learning back, if this makes sense, the collective experience that I've been getting over the course of the last few months. I've really felt, and I don't mean this in a braggadocious way, that I've really grown, that my personal development, my happiness, my self-esteem, my relationships with my family, with friends, with myself. And I want to share and explain how I've done that, because this question is an ongoing question I get all the time. I'm starting to get it directly. I'm going to be really honest as usual. So some of you might get offended, you don't want to hear this. But that's okay, because there are lots of things that I don't want to hear, and I'm still making mistakes because I'm still learning. But a lot of you are going to want to hear this. So whatever stage you're at is going to help. If you don't want to hear it, of course, you can switch the video off. You can get angry, you can disagree with me. You're allowed to disagree. You should disagree. You should challenge what I'm saying. So if you've got social anxiety right now, if you're nervous right now, if you're struggling to pay the rent, if there's everything's going wrong, I'm going to say, and if you're struggling to make money, I've been there myself, worrying about money, worrying about will you get a girlfriend, you're missing the most important person, the relationship with yourself. It's not enough though, is it, for me just to say that? Because it sounds slick. If I say the relationship with yourself or just be happy, that's good, but we must practice it. We must build a relationship with ourselves. So why are we not building a relationship with ourselves at the moment? What do I see when I work with people who come to me and do my 6 weeks program, or who write to me, or who talk to me on Skype? Where are they going wrong? Where was I going wrong? How comes I'm in a good place now? For the grace of God, or me putting in the work and being really brave and getting, mentors. Everyone I teach helps me back. Addictions. I didn't even know I was going to speak about this today. Sometimes we are addicted to building a bad relationship with ourselves because we're so used to doing it, we don't know we're doing it. I'm going to share some of my vulnerabilities with you, where I went wrong, and it will show you how I've gone right. I would say one of my biggest sticking points was not valuing myself as a human being, as a person. To use an example, and it's not blaming anyone, making women my identity, making women my supply of love, validation. And it's hard growing up as a man. It's hard because we're taught this in school, we're taught this through conversations with our friends, and it's not entirely a bad thing. But throwing my integrity down the river to attract women, and it's nothing to do with women, it's my error, it's always your error, it's back to you. But it's not just that's bad, it's the habits that come with that, the personality. And sometimes I find when I work with people, there's a trail of a separate personality that's leading them down the wrong path, they don't even know it. Pornography. I've done it, I've watched pornography. That's why I'm a good teacher, I don't watch it anymore. Not being as honest as we could be in our relationships. And when I say not being as honest, sometimes not being kinder. Because when I say not being honest, people usually interpret, I wasn't firm enough for someone, being kinder. One of my biggest regrets growing up, that I wasn't kinder to people, but that's because of how I felt about myself. So we're not kinder to people. Pornography, alcohol. I work with a lot of people and I coach my 6 weeks program and I say, let's look at the areas where you're addicted. And usually, because I've got a blunt start, people will say, well, I'm not addicted. And I'm talking to their ego, because they are addicted. They wouldn't be working me otherwise. We're all addicted. I'm an addict. But the question is, how badly are we addicted? I'm addicted to virtue. I'm addicted to honesty and integrity and love. That's my addiction, and that is a good addiction. So people will say, well, I don't drink that much. I just have a couple of drinks. And I'm not condemning anyone who drinks, because I used to be a drinker. I was almost an alcoholic at one stage and a sex addict. But it's not the alcohol, it's the habit that's attached to the drink. So drink is not bad. Drink doesn't jump off the counter and jump down your throat. Women are not running up to you on the street and attacking you. Well, it's not likely. So it's the self, it's how you treat yourself. It's your relation to the things you're doing to escape what you need to look at. So a lot of people I work with are addicted very bad. They are drinking because they don't love themselves. I was the same. I didn't like who I was. They're not confident with who they are, so they drink to hide that. We hide our beauty, we hide the essence of who we are because we think we're not good enough because what someone said when we're younger. I used to go through this, but that's not true. So when we hide who we are and we go into our addictions, self-sabotaging, that is a practice of self-hate. That is self-hate right there. So if you're a congruent, honest person, having a drink once in a while, that's not bad. People do it at ceremonies or weddings or parties. I'm not condemning anyone, but when you're using alcohol to escape pain, and women, that is where the pain comes in. Because we drink alcohol, or we sleep with a few women. Sometimes we cheat on our girlfriend because we get insecure, we don't trust ourselves, and then we're left with the bill. The bill is a vicious internal monologue. We don't feel loved, we don't trust life. Some people are addicted with money. I work with a lot of people who are very good at making money, very good businessmen, but their integrity's out. I was the same. A few years ago. I was a good businessman, I was good at making money, but my integrity was out, so all the money don't make a difference. I still make good money. There's nothing wrong with making money, but if the money isn't got integrity, you won't sleep well. You'll have anxiety, panic attacks. So a lot of people I work with a lot of good businessmen who make money and then say they don't trust themselves, they don't trust people. I understand, I used to be like myself, but I trust myself now. Because all their habits that they're doing are reconfirming they don't trust themselves. And then they say, I'm drinking alcohol, I'm having conversations with people that are negative, violent, racist, hateful, and I'm not enjoying it. Of course you're not going to enjoy that type of conversation. All the money in the world is not going to change. It's going to help you a little bit. So if we start looking at where we're addicted and we stop the addictions, we become powerful men in the world or powerful women. Then we enjoy the money. Then we enjoy our partner that we have sex with. Then we can have a drink once in a while and not feel guilty. So it's really looking at an addictive personality. I'm sure you know I'm not judging you. I was a very addictive man. Prostitutes, alcohol, anger, fighting, violence. You wouldn't see that if you met me now, because I've changed that around, because I had to go through the 9th circle of hell, depression, anxiety, suicidal sometimes. Very powerful that we can be in that place and go into this place. So I say to people I work with, I'm not going to get doom and gloom and start condemning you. We be excited that we're addicted. We say, I'm excited that I'm addicted in these places because this is where my love's at. So the alcohol's snatching your love. The hate, the judgment, that's taking your love. If you stop doing that, it's replaced. There's a part of you that doesn't believe that because you're on Facebook too much, you're in the wrong conversations too much, and you believe the old story that's you in the past. You know what my old story was? I'm not good enough, people don't like me, I've got no confidence, I'm ugly to women. That was not true. That story is no longer true because I changed the story. I'm very proud of that story because I used that old story to be this guy. So what I'm saying in this video is wherever you're at is good. It may not be good for you now, but it will be good for you later on. I'm not saying nothing that you didn't hear before, I'm just reminding you. That's what my teaching is about, it's simple. I'm not a guru, I'm an ordinary man, but I learned and I'm in a very good place. So if you've got the courage just to look and say, and in spirituality they say, just putting consciousness on the darkness is a way to overcome it. I'm going to share something very personal with you because I feel comfortable now to share this. I spent most of my life going to nightclubs. I didn't enjoy it. I did not want to be there. The people I was with, I loved them. They didn't want to be there either, but that's not my problem. Where I go now, I didn't even want to share this, but I'll share it anyway. A few days ago, I went to the Krishna Center. Why am I in the Krishna Center? Why am I in a Hare Krishna Center? Have I gone mad? Has Johnny gone mad? I'm in a church. I was in a shop the other day, a coffee shop near, talking to a guy from Afghanistan. I'm learning about his religion. Why am I doing this? Because I'm myself. When I was younger, I wanted to be around honest people. I didn't have the belief that I had the right. I thought I wasn't good enough. I enjoyed it. It gives me confidence. That doesn't mean I can't enjoy normal things. I'm wearing a suit today. I enjoy making money as well, but do you know what I enjoy most? I enjoy transforming people's lives that are in the place that I used to be, helping them to see what potential they've got. If they can remove their addictions, then it makes life exciting. So when you think like this, you think, well, because I used to think, in my inner monologue used to say, my ego mind used to say, fucking hell, Johnny, that's boring. You're a boring, people are going to think you're weird. But that's not the truth, it's the opposite. When I used to do all these things to make people like me and please me, I didn't really have good relationships. Now I've got a good relationship. Why is that? Because I've got a good relationship with me. We attract what we are. We attract what we are into our lives. It takes time. Sometimes we've got to lose things. That's how we build the kingdom within. So if you're saying at the moment, I want to be powerful in my business, I want to make a lot of money, but you're struggling, just giving you a hint, I'm not telling you what to do, could be an addiction somewhere, an addictive personality. It's not always the obvious places when we say pornography, because everyone thinks that. That's just one area. Could be excessive junk food. I work with a lot of people who've got a habit. I had that. You get stressed out, you get depression, you buy chocolates, cookies. Now cookies and chocolates are not bad, because I like a chocolate and a cookie once in a while, but if it's to hide pain, our pain's where our self-love is at, that's where I found my most love, and guess what? When we get this relationship right, we don't say too much to a woman. Then we start wondering, why are women starting conversations with me? The presence changes, you become more attractive. In spirituality, they say the remembering, you remember who you are. You come back to who you was before all this. So I'm not saying at all, don't have an ego. I've got an ego. It's okay to have ego. It's okay to have that bit of you that wants to be liked. That we all have it. I want to be liked. I want you to like my video. But I'm not out of balance. I won't lose sleep if you don't like my video, or if people say hateful things about me, because I've got a relationship with myself right. And it's weird because it doesn't cost any money. It doesn't cost any money. It's free. It's free. But sometimes it does cost money, because you've got to invest in a mentor. You've got to spend money. Somewhere you're going to spend. But you can do it for free. But most people don't do it for free because they're afraid. They've got fear. I've got fear. I'm afraid. But I'm not always afraid. I use my fear to do the things I want. So it's about getting really honest with yourself. Lots of men I work with say, having sex with 3 women, great. But let's be really honest. We're not impressed by that. I'm not impressed by that. I mean, I'm impressed by that because I know what it takes to do that. It takes a lot of skill to have sex with 3 women. It takes a lot of skill. But at the cost of what? At the cost of losing your integrity. Again, my video is not trying to tell you what to do, how to live, but you're on my channel. People who come and work with me, guys running a business, making money, having sex with 3 women, but he doesn't love himself. Doesn't love himself because he's got no virtue, he's got no honesty, he's got no integrity, he doesn't trust himself. Clearly not, because he's lying to 3 women. I used to be the same a few years ago. And the women don't respect him, and he senses it deep down. He don't respect himself. Because when we cheat people, and I was a cheat, I'm not a cheat no more. And it's okay if you're a cheat, because you can turn it around. My whole life I was a cheat for many years. When we cheat people, we cheat ourselves. That's why Christ said, that's why Jesus Christ said, the way you treat the least of you is the way you treat yourself. It's hard sometimes, isn't it, because we get tired. So this is not to be a saint. But to be aware of this, start implementing it is very powerful. So it's really about... Now, one of the things that confused me, I thought, when I give up my addictions, my life's going to be boring, but it was the opposite. I developed new talents. Shall I show you what my talents were? I was a great speaker. That's why I'm such a good speaker. I became very good at writing. I had a fine interest in culture. My old personality didn't like culture, because that's not my true self. I go to different places, I meet different people, I love culture. There's things that I don't like. So it's not about you trying to be me and try and do what I do. You don't need to go to the Krishna temple or a church. It's about you being your true self. Who are you? Who's your true self? Most people I work with are completely different to me. They're the same in the sense that they've had social anxiety, and that's my whole teaching. Who are you? Who are you not? When I was at the height of dating loads of women, I didn't like myself. But everyone else was saying how great I was. I didn't feel like that. Because I was a bully and a cheat. And all these different things. That weren't me, because I was an insecure man trying to hide it. But I'm glad I went through that. So, stop the addictions. I promise you, I'm getting pins and needles, the depression will go away, the anxiety. You'll get a new wind of confidence. And remember, you do take action in the world. You don't just sit down on the yoga mat, dieting, and expect a woman to fall through your window. Although that is possible, and I'm having a bit just truth in that. You go out, you socialise, you go to events, you go to singles events, you talk to women. If you're in your social circle, you like a girl, you ask her out. But it's not what you say, it's who you are. And then things start coming in. You don't need to be spiritual to do this. I wasn't spiritual when I first started doing this. This is psychological, but I'm spiritual now. Psychological is just the same. It's just the same thing. So to give up your addictions don't mean you have to be a spiritual person. A lot of people say, "Well, I can't get along with everyone." You can't even you're not getting along with yourself. If you can't get along with yourself, you won't get along with anyone. That's what I learned. So this is empowering. This is inspiring. I came from a poor area. I came from a council estate where it was violent, but very good people. But there was a lot of limiting beliefs that were taught to the kids, full of talent. I am one of these kids. I became successful in every area of my life that I went to. I don't mean that in arrogant. I need to tell you that this works, so you know. I was successful at mending the relationship with my dad. I was successful at being honest about all my mistakes. I was successful I still make mistakes, but I'm getting better at it. I was successful in coming out of a 9-to-5, setting up my own business and working for the last 4.5 years. I was successful at transforming people's lives all around the world. I was successful at, what else was I? Facing all my fears, public speaking, YouTube blogs, talking to people. I was scared of, I had social anxiety. I was scared of all this. Sometimes I get scared again, but I'm courageous. So a lot of people's addictions is that they're scared. We're scared to change. We're scared to be our best version because of the responsibility, but it's worth it. So if you're watching the video right now, it's because you're scared of being your true self, because your true self is a self that we like. We always like the person's true self. That's why I speak to people all the time. And I meet amazing people all the time. I don't have to tell everyone about it. I don't have to tell you about it. But it's my own personal practice. It's my own spiritual practice. My spiritual practice is speaking to people. Some people's is yoga. Find your yoga. That's what Alan Watts says. My yoga is talking and teaching people. My yoga is facing fear. What is your yoga? But your yoga will not be in dishonesty. Dishonesty and hate and all that, it won't help. If I have days where I feel off, if I feel hate or anger, I know that's my issue. I go and meditate and do something positive. So this is really what I'm talking to people about, that I'm working with on my 6 weeks program. These are the things that's getting in the way. Once they get this right, the woman appears. And of course, if you're a woman watching this, it would be the same message. I've started to mentor women, and women write to me, and they've got an addiction. So the addiction is exciting if we've got the courage to recognise it and refrain from it. So where are you addicted? Where don't you want to be addicted? Change it. Every addiction you give up will become a new talent. My addiction was alcohol. I was a heavy drinker, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes a bottle of Jack Daniel was a night. This was about 3.5 years ago, and I was rationalising it by saying, but I don't take drugs and smoke, but I was drinking every day. So when I stopped the alcohol, I started to drink peppermint tea and latte. And I loved that. That's my ritual. I just go by myself. I love it. And I sit and have a coffee or a latte, and I get business ideas, and I just sit and I enjoy that. And I just like it. And I come up with good ideas for these videos. Another hobby of mine now is going around to different places, environments, and going inside and talking to people. So I've got the self-confidence to do that. Another hobby I've got is a personal one, is learning from my teachers. Who are my teachers? Eckhart Tolle, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, my personal mentor Jeff, you guys who write in the comments. I'm learning all the time. I'm learning from teachers. Muji, spiritual teachers, Jesus, Krishna. I'm learning from these people because they're all talking about the same thing, love. Love is the powerful one. That's what women want, that's what people want. Love yourself, you start attracting that. Enjoy the process. If you want to learn more, go to my website, www.johnnyberba.com. I'd love to help you, and I'm sure this video is going to help you a lot. Before I go, don't feel defeated. When I felt defeated, that's when I made changes. I had to go to the lowest points in my life to ascend up and really do something about it. And that's usually what happens with addictions. They hurt us and they depress us, and then we go, I've had enough, and then we get empowered by them. Then the addiction acts as support. The addiction is the teacher, which is the fear. Love you, see you soon, bye.